It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And up next, it's Deshaun Watson. After his last game, now across 3,000 yards for the season. It's the Browns and the Dolphins on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, Ohio. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Miami Dolphins and the Cleveland Browns. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And CD, you look at the Browns in this matchup. They're squaring off against a very tough unit to throw against.
And this is not one of the better passing offenses in the league to begin with, Brandon. And to illustrate that point, they're down near the bottom of the power ranking, so the focus is going to need to be on possession-type throws. Whether they're trying to use their running backs or tight ends a little bit more, the big thing is to make sure the quarterback gets it out of his hands quickly to his receivers, and they hope to gain an advantage that way.
What we can see of the ball appears to be teed up and ready to go. And off we go from Cleveland. This one fielded at the 5. And he returns this to the 22. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading the charge will be their quarterback. Always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
And he makes it so difficult for all defenses because when he's got the ball, it's hard to say when a play is truly over because he can create from any spot on the field and in any situation, even when it appears that he's contained. When he's running your offense, a big play could arrive from any possible spot.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. Pushes him over, shedding the tackle, and it gives him some room. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big pickup of 38.
Well, Jonathan Taylor, like most guys from Wisconsin, he's not one to shy away from contact. He proved it right there.
Yeah, this could be a sign of what this defense is in for because, you know, all week long the coaches were preaching to the defense, you've got to be able to wrap up against a back like him or he can make you pay. Technique, technique, technique.
On first down, Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williams. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Looking to throw again on second down. Watson. And that is incomplete here. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now it's Watson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphin 17-yard line. That'll be good for 16 as the drive continues.
There's going to be a little bit of regret there because they certainly had the chance to get off the field or just give up a field goal attempt. But they couldn't get that stop on third down. Now they have to hunker down because guess what? That drive continues.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And they'll get him down right around the 16.
On second down, it's Taylor.
A beautiful fit. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown.
Jonathan Taylor, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories. And you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do. And when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And leading them out is their fifth-year quarterback.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
Now Lawrence on first down. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. 2nd and 10. Here's Lawrence again. Out to the left, he's got his tight end Knox. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. And this will be caught by Mooney.
Calling a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3.
Here's Lawrence to throw. Drops it underneath to Spiller.
And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. Still leaves him with 4th and short. Any chance you go for it?
It's definitely in the back of my mind. In fact, I've discussed it with my staff all week long, different situations that I may want to go for it. Where's the ball in the field? Do I have confidence in my trigger guy? What am I going to do? I'm also talking about my analytics department. What are the odds? If I don't get it, what's it going to do to me the rest of the game? Personally, I end up taking all that, putting it in my head, and making a decision. And you know me, I'm probably going to go for it.
Wow, Trey, you want to make an opening drive statement.
Yes, I do. Once I have the ball and I've got it on the move, I don't want to just give up that easily.
The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
And you can see they've already clinched the AFC North. As it stands, of course, they would still need to host a game on Wild Card Weekend. But we always talk about how coaches say, we want to win that division, and that's the key thing, right?
Oh, that's absolutely right. And that comes all the way down from the front office. They build their teams to win their division first, because if you do that, you guarantee that first game at home. Yeah, if you get the #1 seed in the bye, that's terrific. But bottom line, get into the playoffs. There are a heck of a lot of teams watching that wish they were in your spot.
Now a first down throw, Watson.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And not much doing. He'll get this only up to about the 36.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try option left. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
And this, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game. And all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Here's Watson. Right side, complete to Mechie. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. To throw again on 2nd down. Watson, middle of the field to Jefferson. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
From the 39, Watson. It's Williams on the catch. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, it's Taylor. 63 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. On 2nd down and 4. Watson, throw right side, complete to Williams. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a 1st down. On the counter, it's Taylor. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Throwing on 2nd down. Watson. They'll find a man over the middle. 2-2 Atwell. And the Browns are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. They'll run here with Taylor. And he takes this one in for a Browns score. Jonathan Taylor with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Browns have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this first quarter, and he's got both of them.
But certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. So that one a 13-play drive in total.
And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So Miami coming out for their 2nd drive. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff to Spiller to begin the... And the ball is knocked out. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there.
With the football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first two drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Watson going to keep it again.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
They'll set up the screen to Taylor.
And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, this from 39. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
Fielded right around the 8. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Dolphins offense returning to the field.
It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. On 3rd down, Lawrence.
Going down the middle, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. On 2nd down, Spiller looking for space.
And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. He gets this out to Spiller.
And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right in midfield at the 50. 3 yards all they can muster there to bring up 4th down.
Look at this one pretty simple. Walked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
Cleveland offense making their way out.
And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? He said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. To throw is Watson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Again, Watson to keep it. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. The Browns on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. Watson. Open man, he's got Jefferson across the formation. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 22-yard line. They needed 17 on third down, and that's exactly what they got.
Things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even third down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
First and 10, Taylor now. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Here's Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue. But all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on their early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Right back to Spiller on 2nd down. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your deal. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
On 4th down, Ryan Stonehouse on the punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. And that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Try to sit on a lead and play that way. That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Starting to rack up the yardage here this first half. 5 catches now and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Watson. Caught left side by Mechie. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Buying time to his left. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. But he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And it'll be Dolphin football. Miami set to take over. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me on a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Now a man open down the middle of the field. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. Lawrence hit and the ball is free. But I think a Dolphin was able to fall on it. Yes, they'll keep possession here.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage. But I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe the Dolphin got going a little early.
No, they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Lawrence will throw. That's complete to Mooney.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on it.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, and it's the Jaguars who are out in front. The Jaguars are going to leave this season with more questions than answers, but a win would get them closer to respectability at 6-10. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. With that, let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Miami. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Browns, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always to you and the gang in Orlando as we welcome everyone back in for quarter number 3. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. Well, they look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now Lawrence to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Baron Browning drives him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And where did this one go out? Now they'll start with good field position, 45-yard line. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the 3rd quarter. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Holding, offense.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Watson now to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Now it's Watson. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. And he will bring it back. It's a pick-6 and a Dolphins touchdown. Boy, a big play right there. I mean, a touchdown on this drive could have really put some separation on the scoreboard. Instead, it's the defense who scores. And, partner, we got a game again.
And we do have one because of what you just described. A defense that understood what was going on in this game and did something about it. They knew their offense needed some help. They just provided it. They're back in this one.
Will Lutz on for the point after. It's up. It's good. That'll make the scoreline 20-10. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded right around the 8. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Another opportunity now for the Browns offense. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage. When you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd, Watson. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. T.J. Watt able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket. And
it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
The Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Miami's offense set and ready to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10 is Spiller. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Lawrence. And this will be caught by Mooney. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. Lawrence. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Give running right is Spiller. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence. And he fires one, but incomplete. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now, as he'll put it away for the 4th time today. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from me a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They give to Taylor out and hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now a give to Taylor. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Here's Watson. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. Back to throw, Watson. Flushed out right. And this is going to be incomplete. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the lead grows here incrementally, but I think the way their defense is playing, you feel okay with just getting 3.
They've definitely been stout so far, but now that could all change because if one guy gets loose for 70 yards, this is a different game. But as it stands, field goals are good. Just keep adding to that lead.
So now here come the Dolphins. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Here's Lawrence to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Watson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there. And it's 2nd down. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
And as we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Watson.
He'll drop this down to Taylor. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
This is taken at about the 14. A solid 12-yard return after the 55-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30.
From the gun, it's Lawrence. There's Mooney with another catch.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Throwing again here, it's Lawrence.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play.
Now this is just the last thing you want to see in the final week of the regular season. Well, I hope he's okay. We'll step aside and be right back. 3rd quarter action. Appreciate you joining us from Cleveland, Ohio. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Pass delivered successfully to Knox on the out route.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
They'll try and run for it with Spiller.
And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line.
And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Well, week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside. Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
They'll run here with Spiller.
And he loses the football a 2nd time. And this is picked up by the Browns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And now, meanwhile, after the dust settles on the fumble, we've got an injured player here as well.
And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back.
And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 91 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
14 yards that time and a first down on the keeper.
Well, you don't expect too many quarterbacks to be adept at breaking away from would-be tacklers, but this is uncommonly good right here as he's able to get away.
And defensively, you're going to have some guys with hands on hips looking to the heavens right now. You've got a fairly clean shot at the quarterback here, but he's able to worm his way out of that initial contact. And not only that, he's able to hot-foot it downfield for good yardage.
Watson going to keep it again.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
To the right side, this is Taylor.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. The Browns on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 8. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football.
2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. Straight ahead, it's Spiller.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Now Lawrence. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Eddie Jackson picks him past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
And now both of these defenses have something to brag about following this one, each with a pick-6 today.
They are even there, but we still have to decide a winner, don't we, partner? And what they really want to brag about after this one is getting that W. The turnovers are great. Can they make plays now that tilt the balance in their favor?
After the interception, here's Watson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away.
From the 10. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Miami set to take over. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Lawrence will try again after the pick-6.
Underneath to Spiller. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll make it 2nd down. Looking to throw. Lawrence. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Lawrence.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
Here we go, gotta have it. Lawrence.
This is Smith with a grab. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing, and if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. But to throw again is Lawrence. It's Knox, the tight end, making the catch. And he's going to get this down near the 25. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Got Dobbs over the middle. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Now Ward, and he stopped immediately there. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. Now Lawrence. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. That's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
4th down. Here's Lawrence. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Lutz with the extra point. And they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And the Browns getting set to go. Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw in this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
On the handoff, this is Taylor. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 99 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Watson. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down as he'll be marked down a yard or 2 past the marker following a gain of 6.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating defensively. You're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. They run once more with Taylor.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here to have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And he is going to have a Browns 1st down. It's a gain of 6 that time on 3rd and 2.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Off the option, here's Taylor. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. On the option, a give to Taylor here. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On third down, here's Taylor. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So the Dolphins now down by 15. A little under a minute to go. And their 4-game winning streak in great danger. On first down, Lawrence drops it underneath to Spiller. The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. Throwing again on 2nd down. Lawrence. Complete yet again to Spiller. Oh, and what a nice tackle there. That will hardly move the needle at all offensively. A very short gain. So nothing doing there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And despite the cold, despite the snow, this one was fun to watch, and I want to thank you for bringing 2 things, the space heater and the hot chocolate. Those were a big help for us here in the booth.
Yeah, just so you know, in the future, get your own space heater. Okay, I'm an only child. I don't share very often. But this had to bring out, like, the 12-year-old in us, didn't it? I mean, to be able to watch this, and let's face it, when you were that age, you didn't come inside until Mom screamed, "Get inside now, young man," because you wanted to be out there just having a good time, and actually you almost forgot just how cold it was. I'm sure these guys didn't, but they ended up playing just like those 12-year-olds and getting it done.
So for the Browns, they finish off the regular season at 12 up and 5 down. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Miami, it could be a potentially devastating loss as they finish with a mark of 9 and 8. But they've got better days in their future. Of that, you can be sure.
it.